Hi guys, this is the Unit 1 study guide review, I guess. I'm just going to try to go through each question. Don't mind the noise in the background, my kids are playing. All right, so number 1 says simplify the expression below. Remember we're doing polynomials. There's 1, 2, 3 terms on this side, and then we have 3 terms on the inside of parentheses over here with a -4 on the outside. That just means we have to take our -4 and distribute it all the way through. So first step, anytime you're doing a problem, you should write the problem. All right, so distributing this -4. -4 times x cubed, -4x cubed. -4 times -3x squared. Well, negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 3 is 12. And then we have our x squared. -4 times +2. Negative times a positive is a negative. 4 times 2 is 8. Over here, we don't have anything to distribute, so we can just bring that down. Next step is to look for like terms. Okay. Remember our like terms are like our x cubed, x squared, x squared. If we would have an x and an x, then we could combine those. And then we have our constant terms, 3 and -8. So you guys already know I like to put a box. Start with a box around the first like terms. Always start on the left-hand side. 6x cubed minus 4x cubed. Notice I boxed in this sign because that tells me what to do with the term. Am I going to add the 4? Am I going to subtract the 4? Well, since we have this sign here, we're going to subtract it. 6 minus 4, 2. And then we have our x cubed. And then we have a positive 5x squared plus 12x squared. 5 plus 12, 17x squared. 3 minus 8. Guys, remember, if you're having a problem with integers or adding integers, you can draw a little number line. I'm going to start at 3. Hang on, honey. And then remember, if we're subtracting, we're going to go left on the number line. So I can just go over to the left 8 spaces. I don't even know how many that was. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. And then that will help me because then I'd be at 2, 1, 0, -1, 2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, so we're at -5. You could also remember that when I have different signs, see I have an add and subtract, or a plus and a minus, whatever you want to say. You subtract the numbers and then keep the sign of the larger absolute value. Since 8 is technically larger than 3, we would keep the sign of the 8. All right, that's number 1. Number 2. Simplify the following expression. Write your answer in simplest radical form. That's the key word right here. Radical, remember, is a square root. Radical square root, which is just a sign just like that. Okay, we have y to the 1/5 times y to the 1/6. Okay, this is an exponent property, the product rule. I know that because we're multiplying. And the product rule states when we have the same base, we can keep the base is y, and then add the exponents, 1/5 plus 1/6. Now remember, we can't just add 1/5 plus 1/6 and get 1/11. Okay, we have to have a common denominator. So I'm gonna do a little side note. They have to have the same bottom number, the denominator. The easiest way to do that is just to multiply it by the other number. Okay, so here I'm gonna multiply by 6, but whatever you do to the one side of the fraction, you have to do it to the other. So multiply by 6. Over here, I'm gonna multiply by 5. 5. 6 times 1 is 6. Over 6 times 5, 30. Plus 1 times 5, 5, and then 6 times 5, 30. Okay, now all we did was just make equivalent fractions. 6 over 30, if I were to reduce it, comes back to 1 over 5. Same thing over here. 5 over 30. If I were to reduce it, it'd be 1/6. Okay, now adding fractions with a common denominator, now we can add them together. 6 plus 5 gives me them 11 over, and then we keep the denominator. Okay, so we have y to the 11 over 30. And I would be done if the question didn't ask me to put it into radical form. Okay, so we have to do one last step. In radical form, remember the base becomes our radicand. Our numerator goes on the inside. Our denominator, the demon, goes on the outside. Or you could see it like this, and we talked about this many times in class. The 30 stays here, but we can put the 11 on the outside. Just remember the 11, or the numerator, is going to be my exponent. My denominator is going to become the index. Okay, so I will pause for now and come back with a couple more questions.